Visit us at Spice Pharmacy and Cosmetics.
Pampered Paws, your pet experts. Calm, confident canines. We offer daycare and boarding services with playtime and multiple beach park walks designed to have your dogs socialize and fulfilled. Pickups and drop-offs available. Grooming. Complete grooming services include bath, trim, nail, and ear cleaning. Results that will take your breath away. We also do house calls. Beach Power Walks, a 2-mile structured park walk designed to mentally and physically stimulate your companion. Don't forget our hands-on professional dog training services to make your dog a better behaved pet. Check out our full line of pet supplies. Pampered Paws, your pet expert.
Someplace South Coffee Bar serves you delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with your favorite drinks, cocktails, and 2-for-1 on mimosas all day long. Friday nights are steak nights at Someplace South, offering surf and turf, filet mignon, and USDA ribeye. Accompany your meals with our California wines made by Belizean winemaker Joseph Smith. For reservations, call us at 628-5373 or email us at someplacesouthcafebar@yahoo.com. We are located on the South Road, half a mile past the Victoria House. Our entertainment for Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays include Coconut Trio, Dennis Wolf, and Valentino. When in San Pedro, Someplace South is a must.
Welcome to Captain Shark's Club Car Service Center, your authorized club car distributor for the country of Belize. Here, we offer the opportunity to own a brand new club car, golf car with club cars reputable factory warranty, or the option of owning a used or pre-owned club car, golf car that can be fully customized to suit your personal or business needs. We stock a variety of 2-passenger, 4-passenger, 6-passenger, and even 8-passenger golf cars that can be used for any light or heavy-duty commercial job. Used as a comfortable custom golf car, or even used as people movers for resort, hotels, or golf cart rental companies. Our parts department boasts a full inventory of genuine club car parts and accessories that have proven to be dependable, along with prices that are unmatched, keeping us the top favorite of both local customers and mechanics alike for over 20 years. Our vehicle service department does quality work, and we are happy to pick up cars for service within town limits, and will also provide you with a loaner vehicle if we are working on your warranted golf car. Speak with us to schedule a test drive, purchase replacement parts for your club car, or make an appointment to have your vehicle repaired by your local authorized club car distributor at 226-4812, or send us an email at clubcar@captainsharksbelize.com. We are also available through Messenger on Facebook and WhatsApp at 623-4042. For land and sea, Captain Sharks is the place to be.
Whoa. We don't use it around here. I'm not only that.
Where can I get one of those?
The end of the year is coming, and you know what that means, right? Yes, Apples for Kids has returned, and the time to order is now. The process will be different this year as our partnership with Caribbean Chicken grows. But no worries, it will be the same premium Red Delicious and Golden Delicious apples. So order your box now for only $120. Make sure to call 671-6354. But if you are from these areas, then these are the numbers to call. Bringing hope one box at a time has never been easier. Every box you buy will continue to support Belize camping experience in creating a positive impact in the lives of our children and youth. That's what Apples for Kids is all about.
BCE. Belize, changing Belize.
A pleasant good afternoon. We want to welcome you to another update with regards to Tropical Storm Sarah. In studios, we have members of the EOC here in San Pedro. And joining us this afternoon, I want to welcome to our studios our area representative and minister in charge of Nemo. I will always use Nemo with your permission, Minister. Minister Perez, a pleasant good afternoon to you.
Good evening, good afternoon, Aiden and Reef TV and everyone here with us, the mayor, the Sparrow from Nemo, and of course, Dr. Kanul right here with us. It's good to be here. We wish we could have been sitting around here for better circumstances, but we're here, the reality that is in front of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Likewise, I want to welcome our mayor in studios once more. Mayor, a pleasant good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Aiden. Good afternoon, Dan. San Pedro, Kikaker, and all residents of Belize and abroad. Good afternoon.
Likewise, we welcome into our studios our Nemo coordinator here on the island, Ms. Vanessa Parra. Ms. Parra, pleasant good afternoon.
Pleasant good afternoon to you, Aiden. Pleasant good afternoon, San Pedro, Kikaker, and our beautiful Belize.
And likewise, we want to welcome in our studios Dr. Kanul. Doc, a pleasant good afternoon to you.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you guys for the invitation, and good afternoon to everyone who is listening and watching us.
Thank you much for joining us. This is another update from the EOC here in San Pedro. We want to give thanks to both San Pedro FM and Flex TV for rebroadcasting our coverage this afternoon. Minister, let us begin with you. I know that, as I mentioned, you are the minister in charge, and you are directly responsible in seeing that the operations of Nemo goes accordingly. What's the latest on a national level?
Certainly, Aiden, we've held, of course, press briefings this morning, and we've met with the local Nemo organization here twice, I believe it's what we met, and of course we're getting updates from Kikaker. But at the national level, Aiden, this is obviously a storm that is coming in that the entire country must be included in here. While we are seeing a monitoring tropical storm heading more than likely, taking a little bit more towards the south, we cannot keep our eyes from just that area there. It's a very large storm, and obviously, as I mentioned again this morning, and of course the Chief Met mentioned again this morning as well, and keeps on saying it, that this storm is not about the winds. Yes, we're already getting the storm surges here in the coastal areas as San Pedro and Kikaker and Hopkins, Placentia, these areas, so we're getting some storm surge. But the big focus right now is the floodings and this lots of rain. As we speak right now, I was told that we have another band of rain coming in, and it's going to dump rain on us. I think the last figures that Chief Met shared with us that we have gotten for today, since midnight actually, San Pedro has recorded 6 inches of rain.
That's a lot of rain.
That's a whole dumping of rain on us right now. And also Kikaker has registered about, since midnight, 4 inches of rain as well. Okay. Now, I say this because it's all over the country, right? While we're talking about only the local level, you asked me the question about national level. We're allies right now are in the Cayo district, San Ignacio, Santa Elena. The rivers are rising as we speak, more rain coming in. And I think compounding this problem is that the storm has stalled. And almost for over 8 hours, it remains stationary. Now, it started beginning to move, but still not at a pace I would want us to move. So all that entails that the entire country will be expecting more rains today, the rest of this evening and tomorrow as well, and for the parts of Monday. So That's one of the things we need to look
Okay.
at: rain and floods.
All your EOCs around the country, around the country of Belize, Minister, they are on full operation.
Full operation, especially in the Cow District. The NEUC has been activated from this morning. In that area, we have actually gotten as well additional support, not only from MIDH, because a lot of the equipment is there right now working, but also we have secured the heavy-duty vehicles from other ministries, because that's part of the laws that exist, the SI, that whenever the emergency comes in, Nemo has the power to request all of these vehicles on the different ministries that are needed. So we have secured some of those to be providing extra support to as it relates to especially Cow District.
Okay. So we can expect more rain coming our way.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, and it's really a serious thing, Aiden. The mayor can attest to it. We just went around doing our rounds. Him and I went around the areas looking, and obviously the flooding is everywhere. The yards, even though we have the streets paved on the side, we have a lot of water. Lots of water right now.
Coming into your constituency, Minister, how do we stand? Let's begin with Keekaka.
Well, first of all, Keekaka is very much being reported, and the coordinator here will tell you that we have the person there in charge there keeping us abreast. They have a very large working committee as well. The Bahia Puesta del Sol continues to be that low-lying area that keeps on getting floodings. I think we may have gotten some footage from there. We also, the north part, again, there are some roads there totally impassable right now. We did get some footage from there as well. That's a problem there we're having.
Okay.
But Keekaka, all in that, everything seems to be doing fine. But of course, again, lots of rains. The streets are real bad right now.
Okay.
Again, that's normal since they have Sunday streets there.
For
But other than
those,
that,
for those who stayed in Keekaka and in San Pedro right now, all transportation has stopped.
yes, yes,
In and out.
in and out,
Mhm.
both air, sea, including the airport right now. I think the last flight was set mayor to go over
1:30.
1:30.
Okay, so
Right, and then there was some last flights that were coming in from Houston, I believe. That one has been
Mhm.
cancelled because the flights, domestic flights are not operational, so
Okay.
they had to cancel that flight until.
I saw
think tomorrow.
I saw a post earlier. I think the San Pedro Town Council shared that the shelters have been officially open.
Yes.
Let's go with Miss Vanessa. Perhaps you can give us an update from the EOC here in San Pedro. What has changed from yesterday to today?
Thank you, Eden. So, like I said, the continuation of the meeting, the monitoring of the weather and the systems, we look at the press briefings that are being held nationally, and that is like determining factors for us on how we move forward. And we're looking at what is happening within our community, the amount of the excess of rain that is coming in, places that are already saturated, and more rains, and then after a while the water recedes, but as more rains come, it comes right back up again. And so we've decided that we've opened shelters as of 3 p.m. today. The Sagebrush shelter is open. The St. John Paul Youth Center,
That's in San Pablo, right?
yes, is open for those with special needs and disability. We will say the Nemo EOC numbers again today, so that
Mhm.
anyone needing transportation and assistance to go to the St. John Paul Youth Center can call us. As of yesterday and today, a total of 650 passengers left the island via the vessels, the 3 different vessels company that we have out here.
Okay. So there's a big chunk of the population that decided to weather the storm
that
here.
decided to weather the storm here.
Okay. Do we have people reporting at the shelters already?
So far, we have only one person reporting that I got a report back at Sagebrush
Okay.
Church.
And just to do a little recap, Ms. Vanessa, those who would want to go into the shelter, what is allowed and what is not allowed?
I think we should post that page, because there is a circulating post that says the shelter rules.
Mhm.
I think we should have that
Yes.
somewhere around there if you can share it, and then maybe you
Okay.
can share it on the page.
Well, we can
Yes.
share that.
Take their foods, their water, their medication, especially their
Mhm.
medication. Safeguard their documents. There is no pets allowed in the shelter, as I've said yesterday. So
Yeah.
from yesterday, I've asked people to kindly make arrangements for their pets.
All right, very good. So the shelters have been officially opened as of 3.
Yes.
All right.
And also, Aiden, for Keycocker, the Keycocker Roman Catholic School is open
Mhm.
for the residents there at Keycocker. And as always, I implore to the public, if you have a family or a friend that you can shelter more safely, more comfortable, please do so, if that is an option to you.
Okay, very good. There was a concern earlier today. I did get a call and I referred them to Nemo, but it has been something that we have been getting here, especially on the number that we provide for Reef Radio and Reef TV. And it has been a number of calls, one after another, with the same concern. Minister, perhaps you have heard about it. There are those who take any threat very seriously, and they would rather want to weather the storm with their families, with their loved ones. But employers are saying, you must come to work tonight. Is there any decision on where do we stand with that?
Well, right now, Aiden, that's a very good question. But at this point in time, there is this tropical storm warnings, but it's not something that we have said that the shelters, we are opening shelters, but businesses are not really asking to be closed. I know they've mentioned that down south, certain areas will be closed.
Okay.
But we must, it will be irresponsible to say that we're not saying complete disregard of the employees, but certainly I think employers should also be aware of the point that while you need your employees, there is a responsibility for them that you should be taking care of. However, we are not at the point where we're saying this is a hurricane, it's coming into us and we have to heed and shelter shut down. So that is where we're at right now. So we have not come to the point to say that no one can say, well, I don't have to go to work, right? Yes, that we have a responsibility to do the work, but again, we ask this to be discretionary. We have not reached to the point where we have to be mandatory that everybody has to stay in at this point in time. So it's not something that we want to really engage in, whereby we are a government that is disregarding, or an organization that is disregarding what is our employees, right? It's that balance.
Yeah.
So what we're saying right now, we're still okay in terms of attending to our work, but we're still vigilant about everything right now.
There's a number of businesses that opted to close.
Yes.
I saw a number of posts on social media saying, to their customers that they have decided. Mayor, last night, what was it? What was the town like?
A lot of the businesses were closed to Aiden because of the weather. It was very minimal, the amount of places that were open. And even today, I'm seeing a lot of businesses saying that they will not open because of the weather. And we're encouraging most businesses to close down tonight. It's not a must, but we're encouraging them to close because so that people can go home and be safe at home.
A lot of people tend to, here in San Pedro, those of us who have seen the storms over and over, it's like the best time to just stay home and be with the family.
Yeah. But Aiden, I want to mention something to what, follow up on what the mayor mentioned. To close businesses early would be a prudent thing, not to take advantage of the laws that say, well, I can stay open. And I think I want to take a job out again to those bars and restaurants. I mean, bars that stay out late at night, please, we're asking that whatever the laws remain there's no need to be opening these places like that. And the casinos as well, call them out one time. There's no place for them to be opening late at night. So I think we're relying on the police department to enforce these things from the municipal level. That's what the mayor is mentioning. I think I want to share something, since you're asking that, you're mentioning that as well, Mayor. Aiden, the mayor and I just went for doing our rounds, and we were discussing of our observations, right? One, that alcohol where everybody's drinking. I can understand what you say, it's time to hunker down. We've been through this several times. We have the experience. Well, we're not saying that you need to be loosey-goosey and say nothing is going to happen. No, that's not it. You cannot be that way. I want to make it clear. This is something very serious.
It is.
We take nothing for granted, right? Things can happen overnight, and just in an hour things can change. These are how storms working. It's never an exact science. Saying that, sometimes we can get complacent That's a human thing, right? We're creatures of habit, so we tend to be complacent at times. But I'll say this, it's not a time to be partying. It's not a time to be drinking on the sides, on the street side, which we did, and I want to make it publicly. I don't want to say, well, it's time for politics next year's election, so you have to watch your mouth. And Andre, you have to watch your mouth. But this is the truth. This is serious times. Last night, the Nemo coordinator here shared some incidents. There were 2 incidents, both linked to alcohol, both linked to domestic violence. And one of them had to be flown out. It was a serious accident, a serious domestic violence that almost somebody got killed. I saw it, it was very graphic. It irritates me because we're not talking about the victim or the person who created it or who was the responsible for this incident, but endangering the lives of those that are in authorities working. True. Risking people out there to go out there and rescue these people, right? It is irresponsible. So now with that said, we do not want that to be happening tonight or any other night that's happening in this storm. So again, Commander Koho and his police department are fully aware of this. We'll be enforcing. So those are out there on the street side drinking, having a battle out there and saying, well, I'm on my yard, please stay inside. And again, we don't want to hear anything about domestic violences. Any kind of, not only domestic dispute, but you know, when you're drinking among 2 men fighting, we do not want to avoid it. We don't need this, and not only endangering yourself, but those that are out there, for example, the police, the BDF, the Coast Guard, the doctors, the nurses, that they have to wake up. In the case of the Kikaka, to wake up the person at 2 in the morning, emergency, simply because of domestic violence, drinking, alcohol involvement in it. So I think that this is where we have to reach out to our people. We hunker down, but we can't do the kind of things. So again, that with liquor, those stores out there, be very careful. It's not to you entertaining people to be drinking in front of your location. Again, the police will be out there enforcing it. Yeah. And that goes for Kikaka as well, right? We're talking about both islands. That's for San Pedro and Kikaka right now. We got to be safe. We can't be having any more accidents. I can understand that something you're doing in a house or you're trying because of the storm, you get into an accident. That's a different matter. But when it's involving alcohol, no man, we don't have no space for that right now, you know?
I took a ride. I took a ride last night, and I hardly see people out there. Hardly. A lot of people they tend to stay indoors, as we have done in many occasions, and hopefully not tonight. That will be the case as well. What are the plans at the polyclinic?
Well, the polyclinic continues to work under emergency mode until the storm has passed. So they are open from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow, but for emergencies only. Again, we'd like to remind the public that if it's not an emergency, please try to stay home, because you do not want to be in the middle of the storm and then have to be rescued, because then that creates further complications. As it pertains to the shelter, we are providing each shelter with first aid kits to be used. However, these first aid kits do not have medications for chronic use. So if you suffer with high blood pressure, high blood sugar, epilepsy, have some type of special need medication, please take them with you, like Ms. Parham said, to the shelters, because if you will, you might need them during the storm, and it is something important. I'd like to remind as well, general public, to hand washing is very important. Mask wearing if you're with cold and cough. And also avoid kids playing in water, because right now there's some streets that are flooded, and septic tanks that overflow, which then causes further diarrheas and vomiting and all of that. And we're trying to minimize all of these things. And if you do need to consume water, which we all do, try to use bottled waters at this point in time, because like I said, we're trying to decrease diseases, we're trying to save lives, and these are ways in which all of us can participate in this process.
All right, and your staff you have a full staff working with you?
We do have full staff, and we have backups on hand should the need arise.
Minister, you mentioned that you and the mayor were out there visiting the different areas. Overall, I would assume that the flooding is the main concern?
Yes, the floods are the main concern. Again, and maybe the mayor can also add to it as well. With progress, you get some problems that come up here. We're having all these streets paving, and while we're driving all around, the pros and cons. One is that it's good that we're driving around. Imagine with these rains and you didn't have any paved roads, it would have been such a catastrophe. And that's the good part. I think this the mayor actually suggested that. I say thinking about that in a positive way about having our streets paved is a big plus. But of course, we're still working with the drains. We did identify different areas whereby we believe can alleviate and fix. The mayor identified different areas, and both of us saw where we can do the fixing up. And I think out of all of these storms and the floodings, this is where we can immediately identify where we can work on creating more culverts or more drains. We're on time to thank as well Christian Medrano. He was doing some work there for us. There
I saw a picture with
yes.
heavy equipment.
Yes.
Dan,
yes.
if you can share those pictures that I sent to you.
Is that the San Marcos area?
Yes, that's the San Marcos area.
San Marcos area. Okay.
They're digging a trench so that water can flow out from the area.
All right.
So that's.
There's a number of pictures that we sent from the different areas that that the minister and the mayor visited, and overall, in general, it seems that the flooding is the problem. And
yes, that's why I'm telling you that at this point in time, the entire country we're looking at the areas. It's not about the winds. It's about the flooding. It's just about the amount of rains being dumped on us. 6 inches today, and yesterday I think was how much was it yesterday? 5 inches.
5 inches.
So imagine 5 and 6. We have gotten almost a feet of water dumped on us. So again, we're not trying to run away from the responsibilities. Please, the mayor and I, we're not running away from our responsibilities. But they're sharing with you all how serious the amount of rain have been doing here. But
this area is where Minister
that's by the runway. That's right there down south of the runway.
There's a lot of pieces of wood.
Yes, debris is just building up. You know, with the floods raising up. You're seeing debris, clogging the drains, right? You know, and other things also is we're having people. Again, I'm not calling out people. We have people dumping. In this case, we have steel. Some construction here has steel on the street side. That is not right.
That is blocking the water from flowing.
Yeah. We've seen people having taking out their mattress on the street. We saw a mattress. There's someone with a couch on the street outside. I mean, these sort of things we have done. Now that one there, can you slow down there? We need to call out that company there. I won't be calling out names, but I am saying it publicly. On the back road there by the highway, I call it the highway or the turnpike. Yeah, that person there has that trailer. The mayor already has reported it. The police are following it up. That is a complete irresponsible thing for that person to do. That is an accident waiting to happen. So we're looking after that right now. So I'm just giving out the warnings out there to be very careful when you're driving at night.
Especially tonight if we have heavy rains and it's dark.
Yes. So again, I'm just saying, I'm not getting personal with the company. I don't know who it is. But the reason I'm highlighting this is because for the safety of our people. And of course, the authorities are looking into that. That should have never happened. Imagine at night, someone driving and crashes into that. That's a, God forbid. But that's why we're sharing that picture there. So whoever they are, that person, we hope that you deal with it. Trying to put some kind of markers. I'm hoping that that person will remove that trailer as quickly as possible. That's wrong. And we hope that in the future, that's the last time that person is going to put that trailer there.
Or even emergency runs in the night.
Emergency runs, yes.
Yeah, and this is the heavy equipment that is helping with clearing for the water to flow.
That's San Marcos area, that's it there? Yeah. So, again, it's just, this is all in the community spirit. Everybody is just putting in their part. No, that's the runway. That's the runway that is actually, dated. But the drains are working fine. The drains is just that it's the amount of water being dumped on us is just so much, no? So.
This is the actual runway?
Yes, at the end of the runway.
At the very end, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's just around the neighborhood where we're getting, and we're taking notice of it. But yeah, it's just the amount of rain that's dumped on us. But again, looking at Boca del Rio.
Earlier today we had some wave actions,
Storm surge, yes, we did.
Yes, during the high tide, I saw pictures coming up, but that had to do with the high tide during that time.
Yes.
Do we expect any more the waves to?
Yes, we do expect that. We do expect beach erosion. That's another concern as well. No, beach erosion, we'll be following up that closely as well. After that happens, we have to assess what is the result after this. No?
But in general, Minister, the people that you met in the different neighborhoods, everybody's calm,
everybody's watching. It's almost like, it's not like that's the school there, Aiden. That's important. Looking at the New Horizons, that we do have an issue there. It's flooded completely. That's a big concern. The mayor and I passed around there just now, and that's what we saw. So I've taken notice of that. But in general, yeah, the people are there, healing, looking at us, But it's not that we're out there just for we're looking at things here and inspecting, analyzing. That we are here, that we have made progress, but of course with this storm here and so many storms this year, it's unprecedented. This is the biggest challenge we've ever gotten right now. So, but we're on the horse. The mayor and I, our shoulders are wide. We have a supporting council, and especially the most important thing, I don't want to get political, the government of the day. We have done a lot of work. Nemo has done a lot of work at the national level. In terms of extreme fires at the very beginning, drought, there was an extreme drought this year. Then we have 2 storms. This is the 3rd storm in the middle of November. You don't get any more challenges than this, But we will survive. All of us will survive, and we will triumph. We will triumph over this.
The EOC minister has a representative that liaises directly with our tourists. Like BTB has a representative with the EOC, or someone within the EOC reports to BTB? How does it
Everything
work?
we work out together. Everything is working
so
together.
you know exactly how many tourists are here on the
Everything is
island?
that. Yes, we share everything. All information is shared, and especially the data that Nemo gets is provided and shared among everybody here. For example, earlier Ms. Parra mentioned about the amount of passengers that have been moved out voluntarily, right? Not evacuated, voluntarily moved out from both Kikakar and Burgiski, right? Both. So this data is shared. And of course, right now, BTB has information about how many tourists may be stranded, if you want to call that word there for the right word. But nonetheless, the tourists are here. It's not something that a hurricane came upon us, and we cannot be telling you need to go home. So we have to provide for them. And it goes back to the tourism sector, that we have a responsibility to provide a service to these people sheltering here with us. They came for vacation, but they can't fly out. So we have to attend to them.
All right. There was one picture that was that you put there Dan, before you, and that was the EOC meeting earlier today. I want to commend all of those persons right there. It's a fantastic team that you have there, Ms. Parra.
I do, and that's why you keep hearing me say how grateful I am for the commitment, the dedication, the civic pride, the selflessness each and every EOC member has, and that is our San Pedro EOC, where we make collective decisions, and also the same for Kikakar as well. There's also an EOC in Kikakar with the same that is spearheaded by the Assistant District Coordinator, Ms. Wolf, along with Chairlady Selene Pott, her counselors, her team. So in there, what you're seeing is the mayor, minister, you have the commander, you have representative from all government agencies, non-government agencies as well, and our volunteers, our key volunteers, sitting down and making decisions how we go forward, especially when it comes to shelter, relief and supplies, transport, evacuation. All the 15 committees from Nemo are being represented and discussed in that EOC meeting. The same is done in Kikak.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it goes to say here, to add to what Ms. Farmer, coordinator here, is saying, at the national level, it would not have been possible if we don't have the entire different departments that are relevant to Nemo. Working all together is also key to it, and I must applaud and thank the Coast Guard, the BDF, the police department, and transport department as well, the health department, the doctors, the nurses, the councils. We must acknowledge that this is also working together with the councils, the village councils, right? And again, Reef Radio, again, thanks again, Aiden. I mean, the work that you do for providing us this platform here is important. It cannot be ignored and just saying, taking it for granted. So each and every one, I don't know if I missed out anyone, is of course we have the different private sector that is coming in, volunteers who are there with us, and both Kikakar and San Pedro. That's what makes the community strong, where we come together. At the national level, the same thing as well. MIDH also, I forgot to mention that as well. They're all working together as one body, as one government, that we were elected to serve the people. And especially in times like these, this is not the time to be playing around, but to deal with the issue as it arises. Safety is first. Safety is first for our people. Health, as the doctor mentioned, very, very important as well. That after this, the rains are going to continue. Next 2 days, you have stagnant water, as what the doctor mentioned, especially at the national level, in the rivers up north, and Cayo district, we have the rivers rising. So we are going to have contamination. Children have to be careful wading in the water. We're having bugs there, diarrhea, and they mentioned that vomiting, these things that are going to be burdening. Not really burdening, but that's not the right word, but this is where the health department comes in. But we must prepare. You can assist by preventing. Let's do the right thing so that you don't use the word not to burden the system. Do your part. As Belizeans, we all do our part, responsible to take care of ourselves and our families.
Minister, if I may, too, in that picture that you saw to Aiden, for both San Pedro and Keycaulker, when we're partially activated, it's the priority committees are sitting down in there, for example, planning on housing and relief and supplies and so forth. And so we have that. And then when we're fully activated, for example, like from this morning, as of 6 a.m. this morning, full activation, that will go right on through into tonight, into tomorrow morning, until the national coordinator declares the deactivation of the EOC. So that's just to speak on the level of the commitment that you see these public officers having, our volunteers, our shelter wardens, and everybody sitting in that EOC. So while others are at home and safe, and we ask everybody to do their part, like I always say, that you have your responsibility to yourself, your family, your community, and your country. And as you heard the mayor and the minister mention, people, as much as they're clearing, people are setting back their garbage. So we're asking you, please do your part too, because all of that comes back to the EOC and to us, because residents are watching, and they are calling, and they're telling you, we have a problem here, water's overrunning the street because of this, and so that then immediately we have to respond. So if you know as of right now that you need to go into the shelter, then kindly start making preparations to do so. Right now the shelters are open. Our wardens and our volunteers are there to receive you. Of course, it is there's a list that we keep for accountability of how many people enter these shelters. We often go and do a stop in and a check, the mayor, myself, the minister. We often stop in the shelters and do a check on these people. And call us if you need help. That is what we're here to do, to serve the community during
And that's
emergencies.
another group of people there, volunteers,
Yes,
manning
that's
the
what I'm
shelter.
saying.
Huh?
Yes.
Wow.
That's another person.
Selfless
Another
people with civic pride and love for their community.
Yeah.
Talking about safety, Aiden, today there were some kids swimming. So if you have kids, please keep them safe at home.
I wonder if their parents knew that they were out there.
Yes. And
I was going to ask you, Mayor, if because I know that usually Bill is the one who reports on tour guides and the boats and so up front, because I haven't been out there. The companies, have they secured their vessels? Because the amount of rain that is dropping, I mean, they have to be out there every 3-4 hours.
Well, Billy did report to us today at our EOC meeting that most guides did take their vessels to safe harbor, and we were out, myself and the minister, and we did notice that there was a lot of boats at the back that were being tied up and put to safety, no?
Well, if I may share this is from Junior Grade Lieutenant Mr. Jerry Vasquez, who is the representative for the Belize Coast Guard sitting within our San Pedro EOC. He said, I just conducted a drive on the west portion of the island and have observed most mariners have already secured their vessels and are doing final checks. I have a patrol team out in the east checking for any vessel activity currently. So like I said, in the EOC, it's not just us sitting in the EOC. Our teams deploy into different areas and come back, and then we report and we see how best and how fast we can efficiently respond to matters that arise.
In that regard as well, reporting to the ESC, I think the officer in charge of the police department yesterday mentioned that they will be stepping up patrols.
As of today, this
Yes.
morning, that
Yes.
we're fully activated, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Very
even
good.
more so into tonight. And we're asking people to move with a purpose, and there's no reason for you to be out there. There's so many rains coming in tonight. Stay home, stay dry, stay safe with your family. The last time you said play games, do something with the family.
Tonight is Miss Universe pageant. Let's watch our very own
Miss Belize.
beauty ambassador. She has been doing a fabulous job. But coming back to our conversation, Now let us move to some Spanish. I know that that there's a big chunk of our viewing audience and listening audience that would want us to share all this information in Spanish. So, Minister and Mayor, I'll give you the opportunity to do the recap in Spanish.
Sure, but the mayor did a good job the other day in Spanish. Man. He defended himself well, man. I saw it, and I read it, so he did a good job. You know, you're not wrong. He can se defiende.
I try without bringing in the Spanglish.
The Spanglish,
Pero siempre el Spanglish te van a entender, ¿no? A veces ahí, así somos. Pero no, Aiden, sí es una buena idea para siempre hablar el español a nuestra gente de habla hispana. Obviamente sabemos que ya estamos en esta tormenta que viene y por supuesto Honduras está consiguiendo una paliza con esta lluvia aquí que está cayendo ahorita. La última noticia que escuché que eran más de 1,000 personas en la área de Tela ya estaban acudiendo para albergues. Estamos en tiempos este año, como lo dije esta mañana también, que estamos en tiempos extraordinarios. Este año ha sido tantas tormentas de sequía y fuegos que teníamos al sur. Ahora estamos con 2 tormentas, 3 con este. Ayer tuvimos, se grabó, creo que fueron 5 pulgadas de lluvia. Hoy ya se registró desde la medianoche hasta ahora, estos momentos, 6 pulgadas. Y se espera que va a caer más lluvias. Entonces, ¿qué quiere decir esto? Que estamos en tiempos que va a estar subiendo las aguas y queremos que ustedes estén ahí, que se cuiden mucho, es importante. No es una tormenta que viene con vientos, entonces es importante que se queden en casa. Y como dijo el doctor también, la salud es importante. Ahorita que tengan sus aguas en un lugar donde no se pueda contaminar, esa agua que usted va a darle a sus hijos, a su bebé, por favor que esa agua esté en un lado que no se vaya a contaminar. Sus comidas, todo ahí que esté bien lavado y todo que no estén ahí queremos. Sus hijos también, porque como dijo el alcalde, también tuvimos un incidente hoy en el parque que había varios niños bañando en la mar durante la tormenta. Eso no se va. No hay espacio para eso. Pedimos a ustedes que estén muy pendientes de sus hijos también. Eso, diciendo todo esto, queremos decir que la tormenta está aquí con nosotros, está pasando a través del país, no es solamente para el sur, incluye San Pedro y Quicaco y también al norte y al interior del país. Es que esta tormenta es grande con lluvia, se ha sentado encima de nosotros y esperamos que hay más lluvias esta noche, seguirá mañana y seguirá el lunes. El otro punto que queremos decir ahorita que no es tiempo para que estemos andando, dando vuelta, que estemos de mirones como dicen por allá, por favor. Eso no es correcto que estén dando vuelta para ver o queremos que usted haga video ahí en la playa, por favor. No necesitamos eso ahorita. Las autoridades ya vieron suficiente para saber lo que tenemos ahorita en nuestras manos. Es que pedimos que por favor, para no tener accidentes, no queremos estas cosas aquí, por favor queden en casa. Ahorita estamos viendo que las policías van a estar ahí haciendo enforce, my Spanish, right? Vamos a estar allá enfrente ahorita por todas partes viendo. El alcalde y yo estuvimos dando las vueltecitas por ahorita, notamos que hay mucha gente en las orillas tomando sus cervezas o licores. Eso, por favor, que no hay espacio para eso, por favor, no queremos eso, aunque van a estar en casa, no queremos que esté a la orilla de las calles. Porque anoche tuvimos 2 incidentes que se tuvieron que ir a la policlínica y los 2 fueron resultados de alcohol y violencia doméstica. Entonces, eso ahorita no hay espacio para eso. Porque aparte de que te estás lastimando y te estás poniendo responsable de algo que no es necesario para pasar por alcohol, también estás poniendo en riesgo a aquellos en la autoridad que tienen para acudir al auxilio de esa persona que está afectada. No es justo. Y por eso ahorita en tiempos de esa tormenta, no es chiste para que estar ahí tomando como si estamos en fiesta. No es fiesta. Sabiendo, como discutimos con Aiden también, que siempre estamos con experiencia. Somos veteranos. Nosotros de este pueblo de Quicaco y San Pedro, somos veteranos, hemos visto tormentas a través de los años, sabemos cómo por hacerlo, pero nunca quedemos complacientes. Siempre estar alerta, a la vanguardia, que esto es algo serio y no es tiempo para estar como si, no va a pasar nada. Siempre algo puede pasar, en lo menos esperado. Puede pasar un accidente que no lo quieran, Dios no vaya a pasar, pero es los momentos que estamos ahí exponidos a esto. Y por eso ahorita llegar a ustedes, a sus casas, a sus hogares, o si están manejando en un taxi, escuchando por la radio, que se cuiden mucho, es importante. Las autoridades estamos aquí para rendir todo el servicio, los albergues ya están abiertos. Si alguna cosa, el Sagebrush, San Pablo también está abierto por el momento, pero usted está en casa, va a estar bien. Y no salga afuera ahorita, no es tiempo para estar dando vuelta. Las tiendas también, a todas las tiendas que venden licores, no va a haber tolerancia para aquellos que tienen a la gente tomando enfrente de sus lugares ahí tomando, porque eso no se va a tolerar en estos tiempos ahorita. También los casinos, right, Mayor? Los casinos también se van a cerrar. Aquí no está para las últimas horas, están cerrados para esta noche, mañana. No hay lotería tampoco, ¿no? Eso
No
es lo único malo de ello, no hay lotería. Pero siempre hay que estar enfocados, escuchar, lo más importante, escuchar a las autoridades. No estemos escuchando a YouTube o a aquellos que están en los Estados Unidos teniendo sus ahí reportes. Aquí es el Med Service, Nemo, y aquí que estamos dando reportes oficial. Eso es lo más importante, que escuchar lo que estamos aquí ahorita, las autoridades locales, hay que estar escuchando. Con eso, muchas gracias.
Thank you, Minister. You're heading into a meeting right now. It's 5 minutes away from the 5 o'clock hour EOC's meeting. That will be the last meeting for today.
Yes.
And then you're scheduled to have another meeting tomorrow morning.
Yes, but we're activated fully
Right
during
through.
tonight.
Okay. The disturbance for right now has not been intensifying. The tropical storm remains where it was yesterday, but it's still at a distance and moving very slowly. So it's a matter of monitoring it and following the official info coming out from the EOC.
Yeah.
Mayor, any other piece of info that you'd want to share before we close this segment?
Well, Aiden, just like the minister was saying right now in Spanish, that if you don't have to come out, just like how our Nemo coordinator has said, move with a purpose. Only if you have to go out, you can stay home. They call it Netflix and chill. You can drink coffee or your hot chocolate. Enjoy family time. There is no need to be out there. And what safer than to stay at home instead of being out there in danger? So we just want the general public to cooperate with the authorities here, so that tomorrow we wake up, after the storm has passed, we clean up and we continue with our lives.
Remember that we still have to wait until the all clear is given, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Doc, any other piece of info that you'd want to share before we wrap up?
I'd just like to remind everyone that prevention is better than cure. Y algo que el ministro, creo que no recuerdo bien, pero los que van a los albergues, por favor, que lleven sus medicamentos. Lo dijimos en inglés, pero en español no sé. Y eso es algo muy importante porque pues ahí sí vamos a tener medicamentos, pero no medicamentos para la presión, ni azúcar, ni sus medicamentos que toman diariamente. But yes, prevention is better than cure, and so we all can play an important part in preventing deaths, preventing illnesses, and putting ourselves in these unfortunate situations which could occur due to flooding in this area because of the heavy rain. So, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kanul. Ms. Vanessa?
So as of right now, we have an update of 7 people in the shelters.
Okay, so they're starting to come in,
Yes,
right?
they're starting to come in at Sagebrush. You know, take it upon yourself if you're going into the shelter and take your little food, your foods, your water, whatever you may need, especially your medication, which is very important. Continue listening, as we rightfully said, to the official advisories. And Aiden, I want to end off by thanking the people in the San Pedro EOC and the Keyhawker EOC that all hard at work for these past days, you know, ensuring that our community gets the best response, the best advice. And we want to thank the community of San Pedro for being receptive to these advisories that are coming out, and for listening to us. And something you mentioned about the all clear. Kindly wait until the official all clear is given, and even so, as the all clear is given, remember we have agencies like BEL, BWS that has to go out and make their assessments too.
Yes.
So it's not just as you see the all clear and the flag is just to rush out. We do not know the extent of the damage that may come, especially when we're looking at the threat of floods, what may come with that, what debris may be lying under that water that can result to be very dangerous for anyone wanting to quickly rush out there and see the hype after the storm, as we call it. And so I just want to warn the residents too to be very careful of that.
Thank you very much.
So I think tonight I was just thinking when you said about games and everything. So this is the time with your family. You know, hay diferentes juegos que tienes que tener en tu casa. Hay chalupa, hay barajas. I know it's illegal to gamble, but I think tonight you can play shilling a dog with your family. No? Pull out to chalupa, pull out to league card games with your family there. Correct. So, you know, play our games there with your family there. Get some beans there and play your chalupa. You know, the things like that. Maybe this is time to really get into with your family. While I saying it jokingly, it's a time for that. Instead of just hanging out there and drinking, you know, this is not the time for it right now because safety is first right now. Last thing I want to close up with this. Floodings is everywhere in this country. Here in San Pedro and Kikaker, the water is always there with the subsides. Right now, up north right now, it's a really bad area there. We've been there, around there, the mayor and I, we've done our wrongs. And I want to commend all those people out there who have taken the courage to build their homes, yet they don't have water and electricity. Now we're working for that area to do roads. I want to recognize them for they're really brave and courageous over the years to have built their homes. We have a commitment to them to take out the water, the streets, and electricity that is going to come to them. A special lady who I visited recently, I want to recognize her, Ms. Nadine. Ms. Nadine is a hard-working lady. I visited her home. I know she has been behind me with roads. She has built a nice home, hard-working lady. So we hear them. We are listening to them. And in light of this storm, say we are unable to do anything. But surely after this subsides, we're coming with the roads. I say this because in some other place, it's worse.
True.
The rivers are rising, the rains will go, and the river will continue to rise for the next 2-3 weeks. And these people will not be able to live in their homes for the next 2-3 weeks, maybe a month. So, and then we're talking about contaminated waters. You know, it's not good. I've been there in that area to see it about 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm not criticizing them, but sometimes we think we are in a bad shape, but there are some other people
and
really
we have a lot of families inland as well.
And yes, so we are mindful of these people again in the north and in Cayo, in the west right now. People that businesses are underwater. It's not a nice thing. It is not. So we're mindful of them as well. While we think we are still, it's bad times for us. Yes, it is, but other people around this country have it a bit worse. And again, don't forget our brothers and sisters in Honduras right now. They're really getting battered, right? And there are brothers and sisters there.
One more thing, Minister Aiden, if I may. Just like as every storm comes with a different characteristics,
Yes.
and we look at the before, during, and after. Look at the gaps and where we can improve. And it is the same thing I want to ask all families out there, because we always urge them to have their family emergency plan. Look at how you can improve it, and you know, with each and every passing storm, look at how you can improve your family plan, make it more efficient, make it more flexible.
Resilience, that's
and,
what it
know,
is.
Build resilience within your own home. And with that, Aiden, I want to say thank you to Dan for allowing us to share this information, and may God continue to bless our beautiful Belize.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa. Minister, before we wrap up the show, you know that this would have been one of my favorite weekends here, because one of my favorite holidays is the 19th. Garifuna Settlement Day, but all the celebrations they had to take a pause, and maybe that by Tuesday, you know, things. I know you will have a big responsibility afterwards because of your ministry. It's a big one, but I will give you the opportunity, Minister, this evening to send a message to our brothers and sisters in the Garifuna community out here in San Pedro.
You know, I thank you for mentioning that, but I want to say that we were planning such great plans we're having with the entire community. We really got together. We started with everybody here. They were here on the radio.
Yes.
We were making the plans to have a grand celebration. We were planning to do a special Garifuna Mass on Sunday morning, which will have been tomorrow morning. And we were planning for another mass on Tuesday morning. We were planning to do the reenactment from Boca del Rio to the park. We were planning for we're going to do a show on Monday night and Tuesday night at the Sacachis Pass. We had secured the stage, the music. We were bringing a band from Livingston. From Livingston. They were coming in. It was all planned out. We were working it out, but the weather just changed it. But we were planning to have it even better, because last year it was very, very successful. I loved it. And the mayor and I, we really enjoyed it. It wasn't raining. It was raining, right? It was raining, but the year before it rained. But the last year was very beautiful. But I think at this point in time, we're safe. We're safe. It could have been worse. It's not a storm where it's coming after us that, category 1, 2, 3, it's not there anywhere close, right? But at this point in time, if we talk about resilience, If there's one people that have been resilient, is our Garifuna brothers and sisters. They are really the model, they epitomize what is resilience. We have so much to learn from them, their culture, how it has been preserved. Maximum respect to our Garifuna brothers and sisters. And I love their food. I was looking forward for a good food, but maybe I still go around and see where I can maybe hang up there with Miss Julia by Black and White Bar to support her. She's a wonderful educator, loves her culture, teaches it all the time. And the entire committee, everybody who were there with us, Theo, Amancia, Eden was there as well. The council was there as well. I want to thank you all again. They're participating, working all together. Blista Blinky as well over there. But there'll be another time. But for now, I want to wish everybody a safe, happy Garifuna on the 19th. It's still a holiday. Remember, Tuesday is going to be an official holiday. But it's a time, hopefully, weather clears up, and we're going to have a good food out there to go and enjoy some kind of music somewhere. I'm sure it's going to be playing there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being with us. Dan, what's our schedule like for this evening? Good movies?
Yes, Black Hawk Down coming up next. Good movie. And then we got 2 new movies. One, The Girl with the Fork, which is a mystery thriller, highly rated. And then Silent Bite, a Christmas thriller. So that's the lineup for tonight.
Black Hawk, that's the one of the movie where during the Clinton days when they went in Africa, one of these countries, what was it?
Somalia.
Yes. Somalia. Yes, Mogadishu. That's what it is, right? That's it.
That's the one.
It. I remember.
So get your popcorn out, get ready.
All right.
Got some good movies tonight.
I won't keep you here longer. It's 6 minutes after 5. I know you have to go to another EOC meeting. Thank you much, and let us know if we need to interrupt our normal programming for any update. With that said, thank you much to our viewers and listeners. Have an enjoyable evening.
The AIC mobile app has been helping many to save time while getting more done, all from the comfort of their homes. When you download our mobile app, our services are at your fingertips. Log in using biometrics, view motor and property policies, file a claim and submit claim photos, request a quote, receive renewal reminders starting 6 weeks prior to renewal, submit renewal request, view branch locations, and obtain Google Map directions, make payments via Atlantic Bank Bill Pay, and even contact your customer care rep directly. Prospective clients will have limited access, but can request a quote, place a call to a branch, view branch locations and obtain Google Map directions, file a claim. And since all paperwork is completed beforehand, there's no waiting in line. With all the time you can save, can you afford not to use our app? Download today on the App Store or Play Store, the AIC mobile app. Insurance.
The CB100 is efficient, durable, and has enhanced smart power. Being a Honda, of course, it's reliable and fuel efficient.